welcome to my channel. I am the Taskmaster and I'm back with my programming videos. I know I put gaming videos but I wasn't putting programming, but I'm back again, and hopefully, like my gaming series, I will be able to keep putting this weekly. Okay, so it has been a very long time. So if you remember, the we started the basics, we've done inputs, and we have done the data type before that. So today we are going to do something that is like a part of almost every program, every actual program you ever do. Like in every program, there is some logic, there are some conditions, right? How are those conditions applied? That is what we're going to do today. What we're going to do is called conditional statements, right? So in that, what is there? There are these are statements called if, else, and else if, or elif. So what happens here is that you give a condition to the program, and when you give data, when you input data, it runs that conditional statement. If that statement returns true, then whatever is below that, whatever program is written below that, that is executed. But if the statement returns false, then it will not be executed. This is a very interesting thing because pretty much every program that you see today, there is some logic, there are some conditions, there will be if else statements everywhere. There's always something that if this happens, you should do this. If that happens, you should do that. If nothing else, do nothing. That's the logic. It's basic grammar. If this happens, do this, else do that. It's like that. So we're going to start now. So we write if. So first we're going to give a variable. I'm going to first give a variable a. I'm going to give input here. So I'm going to write input. So I'm going to write and enter month. Okay, so what we're doing here is that we're creating a program to check the which how many days are there in a month. So like now we put an if statement. Now if a, that is our variable, equals to January. Okay, now you have to see this equal to sign. It's called the conditional operator. Now this whole statement will return true if variable a contains the word January. Whenever there's an two equal to's, it means that whatever the output will be a boolean. It will be either true or false. This is a conditional operator. If a is equal to January, only then it will return true. So now we're also going to do or a equals to March. Now this or is also another keyword. It means that sometimes there's not only one statement for which some program is to be implemented. Sometimes for a number of things you need the same thing. You need to execute the same program for a number of conditions, and all of them don't necessarily have to be true at the same time. So that is when you use this keyword or. So now I have written first here a is equal to January, or a is equal to March. This means if even either of these are true, if a is equal to March or a is equal to January, in both cases it will return true, and whatever you type below the if statement will be executed. So I'm going to just type here ahead the other months that have 31 days in them. Okay. Okay, so I have now written here all the months that have 31 days. January, March, May, July, August, October, and December. I hope I have not got missed any of them. Hopefully, I haven't. So now, always in the end of these statements, you have to put a colon. This colon means that all your conditions have been given, and this makes it a valid if statement. Now, if you click enter after this, you will see that it's automatically given a tab space. Python platforms usually do this for the efficiency of the user, of the programmer. Whenever you put an if statement and a colon, it recognizes that you have an if statement, and then it automatically gives a tab. Because if I were to type anything just below the if statement, it is not meant to, it will not be considered inside the if statement. It'll execute regardless if the if statement is true or false. If you want a program to run only if it's true, then you give a tab space in the line after the if statement. Whatever comes in this tab space is considered to be inside the if statement. It's inside the block. It's called a if block. So now we're going to print here. We are going to write a, that is our variable. I'm going to write has 31 days, right? So what this will do now is that, okay, I'm also going to do something outside just to make it clear. I'm going to print something outside. Yeah, I'm just putting this outside to show you that what will happen if the print state if a statement is given without a tab space. So what this should do now, that is, if a is equal to any of these months, this statement print a has 31 days will run. Okay, so now let's save this and run it. Now the console is starting. Okay, see, so now it shows me enter month. So I'll enter the month. I will first uh, put May. Okay, so what here is it, since May is here is a condition, it returns true. So it's a or. So even either of these are true, it will return true. So it returned true. So it printed this statement A. A here equals to May, so it's written May has 31 days. Now this print statement is independent of that condition, so it was printed anyways. Now I'm going to run this again, and I'm going to put something that is not here. For example, just anything random, not even a month. Oh wait, the course is not here. Okay. I'm going to put here. See, since this word was not in this if statement, the statement returned false, so this statement did not run. But since this print statement was not with a tab space, it's not considered to be inside the if block. So it ran anyways. So this is what I wanted to show you. Now there's if, there's else if, and there's else. Now else if, what it does is that if this in the whatever this if statement is not true, if you want more conditions, the second one, that if this is true or false, it will check for another set of conditions and do something else. For that, you need to write else if, or you can also write elif. Okay, so elif. So I'm going to write the all the. Now I'm going to write February. Okay, so now if elif a equals to February. February. So now we put the colon. It gives me the trap space, and I print. Oops. A has 28 or 29 days. Okay, so this means that here if it returns false, it will go to this elif statement. If this elif statement returns true, it will execute this print statement. So let's check that. I'm going to comment this for now because I don't need that. I save this and I run it again. Okay, so it's showing me enter month. So now I will type in Feb see, now it shows me it has 28 or 29 days. It executed this statement because this returned true. The program, it works line by line. See, first it checked here, it checked this if statement. It did not find a equals to February here. Here it returned false. So it went to the elif statement that if this is not it, else if a is equal to February, it worked. Okay. Now there's one last thing called the else. So like if all your if and elif statements return false, this will run. This is the ultimate last thing. If everything returns false, this is what will run. You don't put any condition here because this is if every other condition is false. This is only then. So now after else here, so that means that if it's not any of the days with 31 days, if not February, that means that it can only be a month with 30 days, or it can not be a month at all. So you can upgrade your program to make sure that the only uh, else it only gives days if you actually put a month, right? So you can put else. Right now I'm just going to do this simply. You can do this anyway. It's like, if this conditions, it is like the most vast concept in programming. Conditional statements, it goes everywhere in pretty much every program. There are number of programs where you're handling with data. It is pretty much used everywhere. So it has like a gazillion applications. So it's like a lot. So I'm going to print here that a, oh, that is why I was getting an extra space. So has 30 days. This is the only obvious choice. So now we're going to run this again. Now when I type in, for example, April, it is going to say April has 30. Oh my bad, I did not type the word days. But you see what it did here, right? It first checked for this April in the if statement. It didn't get it there. If statement returns false. Then it goes to the elif statement. Even there it returns false because there is only February. Since then it comes to the else statement because the if and all the elif statements were false. That is why it executed the else statement. It's if everything else is false, then print this. It's very basic. It's just basic grammar. That's what I love about Python, that there's simple grammar used in this. It's easy to understand. You can frame a program like a sentence in your mind. The keywords are just straight to the point. Very easy because even here, if, else if, and else. This these are the words that we use in our everyday lives. When we want to say something, we say if you don't want to do this, do that. Otherwise, do that. Else, do this. It is always used, and that is what's here. It's very simple to understand, and most likely in the programs that I'm going to do ahead, you're going to see a lot of if and else conditional statements because this will be used in almost every program. It's I'm I think this saying this for the fifth time, but I cannot say this enough because this is used everywhere. Conditions are used in our daily lives and as well in programming. So this was the explanation. It was a very short and simple explanation, but a very important core concept for programming, not only in Python language, but in any programming language. This has to be understood because without this, you'll most likely not get anywhere. Okay, so I'm going to end my video here. I hope you like this. Today I don't have anything to give you, but I'll try to give you something next time. I hope you like this video. If you have any doubts, you can give it to me at my email ID that I have given in the description below. Please like and subscribe. Also see my other videos. I do cooking, I do gaming, I do lots of stuff. And as you can see, I do programming too. So watch my other videos, keep programming, stay creative, and also this is the Taskmaster signing off. Goodbye.